What's good, world? I'm your man, Lil Wayne. Did y'all miss me? I'm back with another season of Young Money Radio. Young Moolah, baby. Let's go. Okay, Young Money Radio, Lil Wayne here, and it's time to bring out my guest. Repping Maryland, the whole DMV, is my brother, Cordae. Now, coming off your latest album, The Crossroads.
Yes, sir.
I need you to explain to the people the significance of the title and what the album means to you, period, overall.
Yes, sir. So the Crossroads album title came from, I kept saying it in the songs. Like when I'm rapping in my verses, I just kept saying like, I'm on this crossroads. I'm at a crossroads. Even on my last album, I kept saying like, I'm at a crossroads. And I was like, well, shit, I keep saying it, then I must be. Yeah. And I just felt like I was in so many crossroads in my life. Like one, like having my first kid.
Exactly.
Even just like, I felt, you know how sometimes it's like a sense of urgency too. Like of just like, yo, if I make the correct decision, everything's gonna go super well. But if I make the wrong decision, things aren't gonna go well. Like as time passed, I realized it's not like that one decision that makes your life great or bad. It's a combination, you know, of decisions. So I kind of like, still the sense of urgency is there, but not as like, dramatic, you know what I'm saying, as that, but just more so I just felt like I was entering through like just several crossroads. Even like the label, I just found just so many crossroads that I was in my life, and that's how I came up with that, for real.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And again, so what the album means to you though, overall?
This one is special to me too. You know, yeah, this one is, you know, yeah, this one is super special to me because honestly, I'm not just gonna tell you this because you right here in front of me. Like I've said this other platforms for real. Yeah. You said words to me that was like very wise that honestly need to be framed, and people probably get this tatted, but it need to be framed on the wall. You need to treat, every artist should have this in a studio for real. You said treat every song like it's people's first time hearing you.
Yeah.
Because us as artists, most artists don't have the luxury to not do that.
Yeah. Like,
and when something so simple said so much though, and it kind of just revamp my whole approach of just like, no, like you really do got to treat every single song, every single video, every single piece of content, everything like it's people's first time hearing you.
Yeah.
Because and what happens is when you're an artist that has like a fan base, even myself, like when you get like a core,
we thank God for that.
Yes, sir. Thank God for that. When you have like a core fan base, then you know they're gonna love your stuff regardless. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that can be a hindrance on your creativity. Yes, and but when you have that mindset, like you said, approach every song like it's people's first time hearing you. Now, if you do that, your fans, they'll already love you.
Exactly.
It's, you know, they riding for you. They going a long way. And for people who may not have heard of you or like may have heard of you but not have given you a chance as an artist, like, oh.
This is what y'all be talking about.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then right then and there always, that has to be just me guessing the reason why you've been able to do this so long at such a high level. You know what I'm saying? To be like the apex. Yeah, and obviously, you know, some people just born for this, you know, like yourself, but just that mindset of treating every song like it's people first time hearing you.
One, too.
So I took that and I revamped this whole thing because I had that sense of urgency. Like, nah, I don't want to play with this album. Like, even I had an old intro and I sent it to you. Mm-hmm. It's no longer the intro anymore, ladies and gentlemen. For real, it's no longer the intro. And if I may, this is your show, so I'm gonna say that I know you're a very private man. I ain't, you know,
man.
But basically, you just like this is what sparked that quote that you gave me. It's a quote now of like, you got to treat every song like it's people's first time hearing you. And he's like, yo, this intro just ain't it, for lack of a better word. This isn't it. And so when those words mixed with treat every song like it's people's first time hearing you, again, it just had me, my whole motto just been push that pen. Push that pen.
Because you was a fucking dog with that pen.
Nah, I appreciate that, my brother.
That's what I was trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to have you find that dog. And then once you find it, know exactly how to display it every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for real. No, and thank you for that because that's been my whole motto. Just push that pen. Just push that pen. Sometimes I'll like write a 16. The first 12 would be dope, but the last 4 could be writer's fatigue or me being lazy, for lack of a better word, just to finish it.
So your opinion of it,
no, for real.
Yeah.
Versus Nah, like, no, not a single line needs to be wasted.
Exactly.
No lines is wasted. And so me taking that for this whole album, I think that's what really like took it from like, to just, you know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate that for real. And that's why this album is just so important to me, because what it represents of just pushing that pen.
When you hear a song, do you say, okay, this right here, this is an album song, and does that give you motivation to say, now let's move into album direction?
Actually,
like
yes.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
I get like 1 or 2 of those like album tracks,
It's
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I know what I'm working with. I know what sound I want to go for, what message I want to deliver. So it's always them 1 to 2 joints. I'm like, okay, it's time to go.
And at the same time, but you're just recording the whole time anyway, though.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah, that never
Creating
stops.
the ocean.
Yeah.
And the execution.
Yes.
Yeah, the execution, we get that one.
For real.
Yeah, I worked with him on this album. This man is a motherfucking monster, for real, for real. So what's the latest experience or combo that inspired your new music?
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of my last conversation I had with my mom, because I'm always getting bars from her. My mom, I wouldn't say she, as of lately, I haven't been having too many, that's a great question. I'm making sure I'm giving it the proper answer.
Sometimes, it'd be a conversation that it could have been a conversation. We could be talking about sports.
Yeah.
And you already know somebody, like you said, you hear a quote though.
Yeah.
Homie better said something within that conversation. You're like, what you just said?
Yeah.
And you already know, and to me, that might, instead of me, I make it a whole song.
Yeah.
You feel me? I like to figure out, I'm about to try to figure out how to make this 3 verses and the hook.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
It'd be difficult as hell, but I still figure, you know what I mean?
No, that's a fact. I was having a convo, so the conversation that sparked the song recently, I was having a conversation with my mom, and she was just saying how just like pride. Like it's like you need a little, like some of that is necessary, but too much of it is not good for you.
Yes.
And so that sparked the whole song I was doing. And the song isn't about pride, but just going into like these different vices that we fall into, like where you need a little bit of confidence. You not a little bit, you need a lot of confidence. Like,
but not too much, because too much then you're cocky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was just, the song was basically me going into like different vices of like confidence, pride, ego, and just all these vices that we deal with as human beings every day.
How to balance, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. Or trying to.
Yeah.
Trying to.
That's awesome. I know for a fact I've had conversations with, probably somebody that you got a few feelings for, and the conversation ain't too good, and you hang that mother phone up like, you dirty mother.
Yeah.
Cut the song off. You already know. Yeah. Cut the beat off, man. Yeah. This one's about you, baby. This is about you.
Quote.
But since I don't write my shit, I just get, it usually ends up just being a feeling and it dies right after, right after that. If I was to write though, ooh, they'll be in trouble.
We already in trouble too. Yeah. As is.
I appreciate that. From your debut in 2019 to now, what have you learned from the journey?
That it is a journey, and you have to love every single part of it.
I know that's right.
You have to love and if you truly love this, like how I know you truly love this, like you have to love every part of the journey. You can't just love the highs and be sad during whatever lows mean to you, because people don't realize your low is somebody else's.
What? A one man's chest, another man's treasure. You already know.
Yeah. And so just falling in love with the process, like just falling in love with the process and the journey, and just recognizing, you say this all the time, how blessed we are to make music and to be able to share our gifts with the world, and so just appreciating the journey. Like whenever I'm back into a city, I'm like, damn, this is my 4th time in Amsterdam. Glory be to God. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like getting paid here with all my friends. It's like those moments of just like, yo, I'm in Amsterdam with all of my friends, with all of my homies. I got my bro with me that I went to high school with, my other bro here. We all here getting paid to do this. The best
part about it be knowing that I'm gonna actually get on a stage and there'll be people there to see me.
Yes.
Way out here in Amsterdam.
Yes.
That right there. That's how I be feeling when I'm in places like that.
No, for real.
That be the solidification at the end of all the great thoughts. That be the one thought that's satisfied all. Like, damn, I go on stage at what time? They actually got people out there. And where we at again? Like, that's amazing.
No, absolutely. It's a blessing.
I go out there and murk it.
Every time.
You already.
Yeah.
Now, what advice would you give to a younger Cordae?
An advice I would give to younger Cordae. You know what's funny? Something I've been tapping back into now.
What's that?
I always say this. If I had just tapping into that they call it inner child, right?
Mm-hmm.
My version of that is, if I had a time machine and I can go back and play music for 15-year-old Cordae, first getting in the studio in that basement, he has to be impressed. Like, that little nigga needs to be impressed. If not, it can stay in the vault. Not impressed in the sense of, oh, you made it, you did a song with, boom, like in the sense of like, yo, I was able to get this good.
Yeah, just check it. Tell him, check it out.
Check this out. Let me know what you think, little bro.
Yeah, actually, you'll be listening for his advice, actually.
No, that's real.
Yeah. How do you define success these days? And has the definition of success changed for you since starting out in the game?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay, so how do you define success?
The way I define success, I think the easiest way is going on tour and there's people in there.
That's what
you can't make that up. You know, with these streaming numbers and all that, they can skew that. Yeah. It wasn't how it be when you do 1 million copies, you know,
you
first week, twice, you know, you know something about that, you know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1 million people went to the store, and grabbed that. So you know that was an actual...
I was a part of them that era, man.
Yeah. Yes. So you know, actually, it's 1 million people that love me this week. You know, first week. Now, the first week is all skewed because it's like for real.
It's 1 million people that love me this week.
Yeah, and you know, just
I get it.
Yeah.
Man.
And so now, because it's like one album is like 1,500 streams. It's weird. It's like you can't quantify that, but you know what you can't make up? Asses and seats.
And seats. Pause. That's what I just told you. That's what I said. At the end of the day, if I could solidify my thoughts with knowing that wherever I'm at, if I got to show somebody out there, it's nothing like that.
Nothing, because I don't think people know well, people do know, but it's a process to go to a show. One, you have to buy the tickets. You got to buy them things fast, too, because they be gone. Yeah. For real. Then you got to find, if you got kids, you got to find a babysitter for that night. You got to wait in a line. Now, at a tune show, it's these things called arenas that's packed out. So that's a long line there. You feel what I'm saying? You got to wait in these lines. It's a process. You got to call an Uber there, get one back, get a babysitter, wait in line, and to watch your favorite artist perform. So you know that motherfucker love you. The fact that they went through all that process. Sometimes it's raining. Sometimes it's snowing. Yes. They go through all that to watch us perform. So that's it. That's how you know. For me, that's how I know it's a success.
If you are a Cordae fan, or if you're beginning to be one listening right now, you're starting to become one. That is a true artist right there. The man is considering your babysitters. Mm-hmm. The man is considering if you got your babysitting situation together. Man, considering if you got an Uber. Mm-hmm. Man, you got to wait in line. That's an artist, man. I would love to wait. I would stand in line for that artist. You feel me? Now, has the definition of success changed for you since starting out in the game?
Yes, sir, because that's what that means to me now.
And
I think at first, it was like Billboard, number one, all of this. Yeah. Like just numbers that can be skewed now. Yeah. And that isn't a true reflection of culture and pushing that.
It's not.
It's not
a true reflection of success.
Yeah, nah, exactly. So yeah, that's the easiest way that's changed for me.
Say less. Now, where do you see yourself currently in the rap game?
I see myself currently, I don't know. You know what's funny? I just had this talk with my homie too of just like, you gotta, as an artist, like that confidence is everything. Yes. It's like a quarterback. You gotta have quarterback don't got no confidence, man.
They're gonna be in trouble.
They're in trouble.
You gotta be able to go out there, throw an interception and forget about it and come back and throw a touchdown.
No, absolutely.
That's the confidence, yeah.
So you have to have that confidence in what you're in, but you, like you said earlier, that balance between confidence but not cocky, and have a realistic point of view of where you are, but also unrealistic, because what we do is unrealistic. You know, if we going by society standards or whatever standards, everything we do is this. All of this is unrealistic.
Yeah, for us.
So yeah, absolutely. So So I say all this to say, walking in that confidence was also a humble way. I feel like this Crossroads album kind of represents that where I'm at of just like, I've laid my foundation and now it's time to take it to a whole nother level. It's time for me to have a coming of the age moment, you know, and really and take it there.
So the answer to the question of where do you see yourself currently in the rap game is the Crossroads album answers that for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're always challenging yourself as a producer. Do you see at a point where you take a break from rapping to focus solely on producing for other artists?
No, sir. No, sir. I would, but I don't know. Now, with producing, I'm not like Manny Fresh, you know what I mean? But more so, I pick samples, I move it around and come up with drum patterns. So I'm a one-trick pony when it comes to producing.
Were you in a band in school or something?
I played trumpet, but I wasn't no good at it.
But still, if you was in a band, I mean, you got...
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can play the keys. I can play piano. I can play trumpet. Just, you know.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But I don't know. I love rapping too well. I love creating the music too well and bringing it to life. I would hate to be like I feel like if I was producing an artist, I might almost like overstep my boundaries as the producer. I might just be like, man, I might be too hard on another artist who isn't myself.
Yeah.
I can be hard on myself
Of
and
course.
and just be unfiltered with how I feel. Like, nah, that shit was weak. You can do this better.
The rapping came first, though.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Yeah, that's my first love.
All right, now as a new artist in this generation, social media and public opinions come with the territory.
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you tune out the noise, and has it ever influenced your creative process?
I think the social media goes back into that place of it can mess with your confidence.
Yes.
Because
when you
as
tiptoe on that line, that confidence cognitive line. That's
yes, sir. So it can both ways though. Like if everybody's in loving every single thing you do, it can kind of make you feel yourself a little too much if you just seeing on social media this and that. But then also, let's say you drop a song and that song got 10,000 comments, whatever the case. 9,000 of them comments could be fire emoji. This is amazing, great. And 1,000 could be, oh, this is trash. Now that's a 90% turnaround. That's an A.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of artists, their brain, including myself, in the past, focused on that 1,000 negative ones versus the 9,000 positive ones. And I've kind of learned that it just isn't a real place. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And like right now, even if you go on my phone, I don't even have Twitter and Instagram like downloaded on my phone. I'll download it just to get the news. It's like the modern day news today, you know? So I'll get it just to tap in, see what's going on, and I'll just delete it because that can infiltrate the psyche of the artist and the confidence.
Yes, it can. So for me, I'm glad I'm a bit too old for it.
Yeah.
And also I think I want to say maybe when it became a bit vital, you know, like for everyone to, at some point in time, it became vital, you know, like social media became vital. So what I mean by that is that was at some point it became necessary for everyone from every generation. Yeah. At some point, and then after that point, you know, it goes from where it goes from there. Yeah. I think I was locked up. I think I saw it because I know when I came home, I never wanted to be. I felt like it had already passed me up and something. You know, you feel like something passed you. You're like, whatever, I'm too. Yeah. Somebody else handled it. No. You know what I mean? So I never got into it. So
that's a blessing.
Listening to your answer, I'm glad I didn't.
And you know what? I know that to be a fact because I had to tell you, you know, our joint Saturday mornings is going crazy. Like your verse, it was going mega viral, like trending #1. I'm sure your team probably tell you like 3 days straight. And I was just like, yo, Tune, I know you don't be on there, bro, but just so you know, like people are loving the record because I know you have no idea.
None.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing.
Coming from North Carolina and Maryland.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel the responsibility to represent and carry the torch for your region?
Absolutely. One of my earliest songs, I know you'll love this. I was like, I'm the best thing out of Maryland since Lynn Bias.
Okay. Stop. They don't know, but they don't know.
They don't know. He was giving Jordan buckets.
Yes. Let's get to that. What y'all really got going on over there, bro?
You got to blame David Tepper, man, the owner. Since he's been there, they've been terrible.
I kind of like his go get 'em mentality.
Man, he need to go get some more. He ain't go getting enough, man. We get all the nice white boys too and wasted. Luke Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly, a dog.
One of the great, like, GOAT for real, like retired at 29.
I know.
Because he was playing for the Carolina
Don't say
Panthers.
that. Nah,
For
I
real.
think
He didn't see no ceiling. No pun, all pun intended. There was a ceiling, sir. I bet that thing was 5'2".
Now, all right, how has your Southern roots shaped the way you navigate the music industry and Hollywood? Speaking of LA and Hollywood, what keeps you grounded?
My grandmother whooped me with before there were switches. My grandma whooped me with these things they call switches. Meaning you got to go out and pick them yourself.
Pick it off the tree, and it better not be small.
Because she gonna pick it herself.
Yeah.
And I got whooped with them switches for real.
Let's keep you grounded.
Yeah, and it was yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, not even optional.
Yeah.
And things like that go very far.
Go far.
Throughout my entire life, especially in the entertainment business, it's yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. That wasn't an option.
And people don't understand that that's not a saying. That's a way of life.
Absolutely.
That yes ma'am, no ma'am. That's not a. What do you mean by that is he's not saying that he went through his whole life saying yes ma'am. No, what do you mean is that's a lifestyle. That's a way of life. Meaning he lives his life respectfully.
That's a bar. And I moved to Maryland when I was 10 years old, so that's really where I was like raised at. And so that was like a complete opposite, because in Maryland, they ain't no yes man. It's like, get the fuck out the way, nigga.
I already know how it is.
You know,
body more.
Yeah, they don't play out there.
Murderland.
Yeah, for real. And so I grew up in Suitland, Maryland, like 5 minutes from DC. They called it Southeast Maryland over there. And so that was completely opposite. Complete opposite. Just what I learned out there is watch your surroundings, be very slow to speak and quick to listen. And just know how to
that phone.
Slow to speak, quick to listen, and just beware of your surroundings. I remember the Beats headphones came out, the over the ear headphones came out, and I get off my bus, be listening to them. My mom was like, one day, just like, what you doing? Like walking outside around here with them headphones on. Like you need to one ear in, one out. Like you need to be like aware and moving around. So that's what I learned in Maryland. Just simple things of like, even when I'm driving back home, if I notice a car kind of follow me from the freeway, may or may not have been following me, okay, we're going to bucket you around before we go directly to my house. We going just to make sure. 9 times out of 10, they not following me, but just to make sure. And these are things that I move with now,
Period.
Yeah.
It's a way of life.
It's a way of life.
That's all right there. But that's crazy though. You gotta be worried about when you from Maryland like that man gotta worry. So let's hit a U before we go to the crib, boy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
I'm gonna pray for the Panthers too.
Lord, we all gonna do that collectively. We need to pray a circle for that.
I really like Bryce though.
Yeah.
I do. I think Bryce got it. I think Bryce is better than. I think Bryce is I put him on the same. I don't want to say better than. So what I meant to say is I put him on the same level as Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, he's not fast. Like but I also believe that he can move. I believe that was a part of his game that just wasn't never explored at Alabama.
Nah, that's true.
Yeah, I believe he can move.
Nah, that's
he's
real.
small. He's gonna have to move.
He has to.
Yeah, it's instinct. I believe that is natural instinct for him to know how to get from. Now, when you small like that, and you know that is a 300-pound dude. You know what I mean? Like 325-pound dude.
That run a 4.5.
Run a 4.5. He talking about man, I gotta move.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe if he had the proper shit around him, like the proper line, a good 1 and 2. Really, he need a good slot receiver.
Nah, that's a fact. But the Panthers, they invested 100 M's on the line. They got 2 like max contract linemen, and the X's and O's ain't X's and O's.
But like I said, I'm praying for them Panthers for y'all, man. You got into the business side of things early in your career.
Yes,
what
sir.
have you learned about balancing entrepreneurship and being an artist?
You know what I learned? I just was saying this today. You have to be an artist first and business second. You can't ever, and I feel like that's what's ruining music now, because people are putting business before they're putting the artists are. Like, and I feel like this is a consequence from the 50s and 60s and throughout time where artists have been treated, so poorly, you know what I'm saying, from the business, that now we have artists that's like overly about the business, which you should be.
Yeah.
But I don't know that should be after you leave the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like in the studio, I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, who's to say I'm correct, right or wrong, but my personal opinion is that you always have to go with your heart first and the artistry first, and then business second. Like, still be about your business. Don't play about them dollars. But think about that after the music is created.
Some of them, I think, just probably approach it as a business overall.
Absolutely.
And so I think that eliminates the heart, artistry part of it.
Yeah.
Because I think they just automatically approach the studio, approach the whole idea of rap as this is a business.
No, absolutely.
And I know you got homies from the, I got homies from the streets.
Yeah.
Like that looked at it like, shit, I can make some words rhyme to get me out these streets.
For real.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't nowhere near the passion that I can't stop making words rhyme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
like,
for real.
So so they approached it as a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then some of them, somewhere down the line, it becomes they grow a passion for it. You know what I mean? And sometimes they go the other way. It just didn't work out, period. So they, you know what I mean? They go back to the other business.
Absolutely.
You feel me? They're a little better at that one.
Yeah, so I feel like right now music is just too many like business first artists, like, and music is such a divine thing. It's such a special. This is like R.I.P. Quincy Jones.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
It's such a divine, blessed thing. Like, you can't play with that.
Nah.
You can't play with that.
Nah.
You can't play with music.
I got you. So let's talk about high level mentality.
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize your power, and what steps do you take to tap into it and elevate yourself?
Yes, sir. Honestly, bro, I had high level, and just talking with you, listening to your advice, it gained some more steps, brother. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Of just never accepting less than excellence from yourself. Because once you hold yourself to that standard, you don't look crazy expecting everybody else and holding everybody else around you, your team around you, to a standard of excellence. Because if I'm exuding that same standard of excellence in the studio, in every music video and everything that I'm creating, they have to follow suit, or they should be inspired to follow suit. So to me, high level is just a standard of excellence, holding yourself up to. And for me, that was pushing that pen. Pushing that pen, pushing that pen, pushing that pen. So that I feel like that's my superpower is that pen, and my ability to recognize, or more so being able to listen and not have ego, and being able to being able to take constructive criticism, but also giving myself constructive criticism to take the music to a whole nother level. Versus like, nah, that shit's straight. Like, it's good how it is. Where it's like, I got a point there. Or even I'm the person that's figuring out, oh, no, I could say this better.
Striving for better.
No, absolutely.
Every single time.
No.
Never satisfied until it's satisfactory. Yeah, I get that.
That's a bar.
Yeah. Now, what's been driving you lately, though? How do you stay hungry?
Having kids to feed. For real.
Plain and simple, man.
No, straight up. Just having kids to feed.
Simple.
Plain and simple.
And that's when there's no longer that's when you eliminate the business out of it, and the business part of it still gets beyond heightened.
Yeah.
And that's when the hard part, the heart grows, because you've added the heart, the only heart that actually matters to you now. And trust me, I already know. So that right there that's gonna make you dig so much deeper.
Oh,
you have not that you never had a real reason, but you don't feel like, I got a reason for real. Real deal reason. Exactly.
For real.
Exactly. You at that point, now they're in trouble. Yeah, they're in trouble.
Big trouble.
You big on manifestation.
Yes, sir.
So what's next? What do you envision for your brand?
I want to change that Grammy nominated to award winning. Just for I've always wanted that. I just grew up watching the Grammys from I wasn't alive when Michael Jackson, but just still seeing that yourself win them, all of that is I just want, it's you can say it's selfish, it's vain, but it's always been a bucket list thing of mine. I need them Grammys, and I'm gonna have my Grammy like in a man cave though, like on top of the PlayStation and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my goal. Like put the Grammy on top of the PS2 next to like my action figures and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
You mean that one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I get it. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. You probably gonna lose them. You can get so many of them.
No, absolutely. Some in the mom's house, you know. Some in the man cave. Some might just be in a random kitchen in the drawer.
The ones that the one that's going by mom's house gonna always be the one.
Yeah.
How do you determine what's most important in the moment? Which calls do you answer first? Like your manager, or your mom?
Definitely my mom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my mother.
Yeah.
You know, it's
so
plain and simple.
And how do you determine what's most important in the moment?
Oh, in the moment. In the moment, my mom always, because that's who birthed me. That could be an emergency. You know, sometimes my mom just be calling just to yap.
Just to,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But still, that is
the most important times as well.
We can't take that for granted.
Exactly.
And I would say that. I've never regretted putting family first.
Ain't nothing like having family. You already know. I'm sure you know. We both have friends that don't know nothing about family.
No.
Yeah, I mean, and look to us as their only family sometimes.
Yeah.
So, family is everything.
No, absolutely.
And as we get older, we understand more about how much. You know what I mean? And also, when you have a little one like you and I.
Yeah.
As they get older, we understand more.
No, absolutely.
Again, and that makes y'all listeners and competitioners, y'all in trouble.
Lunch.
The man got reasons. The man got real reasons. Real reasons. Man, you in trouble, y'all.
Yes, I.
Now, if you had to dedicate one song to yourself, what would it be? Something that's powered you through, lifted you up, or just hits different when you need it?
Just one?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's this song recently. I just got to go up recently. It's this song by this artist named Jordan Ward. It's called Fam Jam 400. Random name. And it's a song, when you first listening to it, you think he's talking about like a woman or just a loss of love. But when I listened to it the second time, and when I actually spoke to him about it, he's talking about his grandpa, about rekindling his relationship with his grandpa. And my grandfather died last November. And that song, I was just driving to his funeral. I flew out to his funeral, was driving on the way to the funeral, and I was just playing that song, and it was just like, just, you know.
That one. So that's one of them ones.
Yeah, and that's why music is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's what. Anytime something can touch you, you know what I mean, from someone you don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone that's not even sitting across from you.
Yeah.
And they're not talking to you in a serious matter. They rapping to a beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They however, whatever they're doing it to a beat, making words rhyme, and it still touches you.
No.
Like they was doing what I just said, sitting across from you with no music on and being as serious as they can be to you. And then, you know what I mean? So when someone can do that without doing that, that's just the beauty and the power of music itself.
Yeah, can't beat that. That's why we can't play with it. Can't be played with.
Yeah, so that's why you heard the man. He said you can't play with it. You can't play with music, and that's why on my forehead one of these tattoos says I am music. Don't play with me.
Sorry, I answered that for you. But for real, you've earned that tat, brother.
I appreciate that, man.
For real.
So y'all already know what it is. My brother Cordae, we've had an awesome time. We spit some game. Let y'all entire world how we usually do it. We do this a lot. We chop it up a lot. We are family, by the way.
The real one.
You know what I mean?
People use that word very lightly. The real one.
Yeah, you did. So y'all heard what y'all hopefully y'all enjoyed yourselves. If you are listening, and if you did listen to us, we damn sure appreciate it. We appreciate every single ear, every single person out there. Tell them about the album one more time, please.
It was good, y'all. It's your boy Cordae. I'm here with Young Money Radio, my big brother Tune, and the Crossroads is out now. Let's get it.
One of the motherfucking one of the illest penmanship killers out there in the game. So watch your motherfucking tablet. Watch your arms, watch your hands, watch your fingers. If you can't pen it the way this man can pen it, and now he has a reason. Now here's a real reason. That's a double R. You in trouble. You in trouble. Cordae.
Yes, sir. My brother.
Apple Music, Young Money Radio.